Hi, welcome to Hidden Lotus Tarot. This is my channel, and this is an unexpected reading. I was just remarking to the wonderful person, I think, Anise Bees, who left a lovely message for me on my July 28th reading, which was really the first reading that I did on YouTube. Left a very lovely message for me, and I replied back to her saying, I'm gonna do another video, but it'll probably be later in the week because, my energies are feeling very scattered. And I went in and did a few minutes of meditation, and I realized all of a sudden that I really wasn't scattered. It was some energies that I was feeling. So I was compelled to grab the cards. Now, I'm going to apologize to you that you did not see me shuffle the cards. You did not see me lay the cards out, but I actually did the reading for myself. It wasn't done to post up onto YouTube, but once I laid the cards out, the messages that came through, I felt perhaps should be shared, that indeed perhaps they may help someone. So what I used was the Rider-Waite deck. I used the Vida Sibila cards to get a little bit more insight into what the cards were trying to tell me. And since the spread is already out and I'm going to share it with you, I'm going to go ahead and pull an oracle card here. I have the Heart Oracle Tarot by John Holland. Let me show you the cards that came out. And it was kind of, I didn't even ask the cards a question. I was just kind of wondering what it was that I was feeling. And this is what came out. This is the Celtic cross position, cross spread, and it basically, traditionally, this spread works forward into a 2-month to 3-month time period. You want to read long, divine short. And what came up was this. I received the 5 of Wands. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know why I can't never figure out how to hold that. There's the 5 of Wands in the cover position. I got the Chariot in the cross position. This is our obstacle or our challenge. At the heart of the matter, or the root of the matter, underwriting it, is the 2 of Wands. Okay? In the near past, we have the Tower card. Impressive card, no matter where it shows up. Crowning the reading is the 8 of Swords. In the near future position, we have the 5 of Pentacles. In the self position, how we are feeling now, it's the Queen of Swords. In our environment is the King of Pentacles. Now bear in mind, just a few days ago, this guy showed up. So he is back again. In our hopes and fears, we have the Ace of Swords. And in the outcome position, we have the 4 of Cups. Not one of my favorite cards, but there it is. So I was trying to get a read on why I was feeling so funny, so scattered, so, I don't know, kind of out of sorts. And the 5 of Swords came up in the cover position. Now, typically this card denotes conflict. It is a 5. Fives represent strife, conflict, competition, rivalry. It could be in a negative aspect or it can be in a positive aspect. It typically represents lots of people involved in the situation. Oddly enough, I'm not reading that in this way. I'm reading this as these are the different aspects of ourselves, that we are at conflict within ourselves about something. So really, you might want to tell everybody this, but really there are several people inside of us as individuals. I mean, probably don't want to go around telling everybody that. They look at you like you're crazy, but really there inside of each of us, there are lots of different aspects or lots of different little egos or ids, different people. It is what we choose to show someone, the outside world. That typically is how people view us. Now, In the last spread, I was talking about changing energies, and indeed we had two death cards show up. We had one death card show up as the focus card right in the middle of the reading, and then when I pulled the Vera Sibila cards, they also we also came up with the death card. So there is some kind of change going on. So I went back and I went to a website and read something. I saw this a few days ago. Right now we have 7 planets in retrograde motion, and one asteroid, which is Chiron. And Chiron kind of acts like a planet, but Chiron is what is known as the wounded healer. It is the universal energy aspect that asks you to get in touch with those things that heal you, that hurt you. And if you can get in touch with those things where you are wounded, those places where you are wounded, be it from childhood or just everyday life, living in general, that if you can find a way to heal those things within yourself, then you'll be able to help others heal as well. So now all of these planets in retrograde motion says to me, this is like a not yet moment. The universe, remember I said there was in the July 28th reading that there was something that was stable, it was static, but that it was changing at the same time. So to me, I mean, really, 8 planets in retrograde motion, it is like half of the universe has said, hey, wait a minute, I need to stop over here. I'm going to pull over on this journey. I'm going to stop at this little rest area. I'm going to sit in the shade for a minute. I'm going to rest my feet, feel the breeze. I'm going to have some water, replenish myself before I continue on my journey. And so I think the energies, the changes that I'm feeling that are coming about have to do with these planets coming out of retrograde motion. I think that we are going to be in for some very sudden changes, some very shocking changes, some upsetting, some positive, some not so positive. I think that there are going to be, and we're going to be touched. Indeed, everyone is going to be touched in some way by these planets coming out of retrograde motion. And so if you are feeling stuck or stagnated, confused, you don't know what the hell is going on right now, rest assured that it is the universe saying that this is a not yet moment. This has been very difficult for me because I'm a firm believer that there's an answer to everything, but the answers haven't really been coming. And this has been very difficult, a very difficult energy for me. Now, the reason why I say that this is a not yet moment, that the universe, it is a force that we have no control over. Let's just accept that. And the reason why I say that, and it's confirmed to me within the cards, is the Chariot. That is our obstacle card. It is a big spiritual card, is a major arcana card. And typically it is never a negative card. Not really, it's never a negative card. It depends upon your perception of it. But what it says to me in this position, crossing that 5 of Wands, that conflict that's going on within ourselves, we indeed want to move on. We indeed want answers. We indeed are looking for answers. We are indeed looking for the correct path to go upon, the right way to go, the correct thing to choose. Is this the right job? Is this the right relationship? Should I sell my home? Is it time to buy a new car? In all aspects of our lives, we are seeking some type of, there's some dissatisfaction that's coming in, some kind of conflict. Okay. And typically this card means, it is about moving away, that the universe is actually protecting you and helping you to make that transition. You're moving towards something new, something different, perhaps something better. If you see the 2 sphinxes, this is, again, goes back to those different aspects of ourselves, the light and the dark. And if you look at this guy, he doesn't even have any reins, but he's driving that stinking chariot. And he's keeping it in control. But with this crossing the 5 of Wands, right now it is the universe is saying, you cannot move just yet. I'm going to allow you to move, but you're going to have to wait. And I feel this is absolutely the message of the card because of the star that is on his crown and the stars that drape the canopy that he has. You see, and the wings, the messengers, this is the messages coming through that indeed it is out of our control right now to move forward. We're being asked to stop, wait, suspend our belief. Okay? That's enough about that card. Hold on, because I'm going to come back to it. Underwriting the whole reading is this 2 of Wands. This twos are about duality. I think also can represent ambiguousness, decisions, contemplation, uh, thinking about something before moving ahead. It is indeed the beginning of something. You can see we've got one wand in our hand. We know this to be true. We want what's being, we want the world. We're holding that out in our hand, but there's something back here that we're not quite certain about. So that's what's kind of hanging out behind us. Okay. So indeed, this too is about decisions that we want to make in our life. We want to make decisions, but we don't have, or we feel as though we don't have the information that we need in order to make the correct decision. This is predicated by something that came in the past. This is very, very awesome, awe-inspiring card. And most people, when they see it, get very frightened. I have learned that the Tower card is indeed, like the Death card, not something to be feared. It can be difficult to embrace. But if you look at it from the aspect that it is going to bring about change in your life, perhaps a much needed change, perhaps a change that had this not happened, you would not have changed. You would not have be able to create or to move in a new direction. So do not fear the Tower card and its energies, because I feel that indeed in this instance, it is change for the better that is coming. Okay, this may have been actually a death in your family. It may have been the loss of a relationship, the loss of a job, or just a plain something happened, something occurred, you met somebody, there were things happening, signs, something's going on, you don't know what the hell's going on, that has caused you to reevaluate, to reassess, to review perhaps everything you knew, you thought you knew, everything you felt, you thought you felt. It is asking you, this card has come in, this energy has come in and asked you to take a look at everything, This is backed up by all of the planets in retrograde. Okay? It's not a bad card. Don't fear. Now, crowning the reading are these Eight of Swords. In this card, this is an unseen force. This is the force that is yet to come into play, even though we kind of feel it. I think we know that it's going on. What this card in this reading, in this instance, is saying to me is we are feeling bound. We are feeling limited. We are feeling restricted. Now, because it's a Swords card, we know that typically this is thoughts, that perhaps we are imposing these limits and these restrictions upon ourselves. And I say to you in one respect that yes, that is correct. But I say to you in another respect that it is out of our control at the moment. I know that's kind of crazy, but believe me, it is something that is out of our control. It's a force within the universe. It is out of our control. Okay? I'm not going to go into the whole look at her, she can free herself kind of thing, because that's not what the reading is about. Here, the way we are feeling now, we feel stuck, we feel limited. So what we're doing is we're digging our heels in. We're going to dig our heels in and we're going to hold on to our position, because that is the only safety and security that we can find right now. So it's it's just what is required of us at the moment. Stick to what you know. Don't try to get all fancy and do magic tricks and sleights of hand. Just stick to what you know right now. There is a truth to sticking to what you know right now. Now, this King of Pentacles, I do feel that some of this revolves around this energy or this person, because he's shown up again in just a few days' time. This is in the environment, what is going on around us. So for those of you who are dealing with a relationship situation where someone has been sort of like behaving with a cloak of invisibility, that you haven't been able to really see what's going on with them, they haven't shown you anything. We already know from the past reading that he's removed himself. He's become detached, and you can't read him. You're not getting anything from this person. Okay? It could even be just a situation. You're in a situation that you can't read it. You have no clue really what's going on. You're being asked to just dig your heels in and wait. Just wait. That's what you're being asked to do. In your hopes and fears, the Ace of Swords. The Ace is a seeds or ideas. So perhaps you're coming up with ideas, you're having thoughts, well, if I do this, maybe that'll happen. If I do that, maybe that'll happen. Or if I don't do this, maybe this will happen, or maybe that won't happen. It is about getting to the truth. It is about the truth of the situation that you find yourself in, no matter what situation that is. But you're also being asked to remain strong in this. Okay? Remain strong in your thoughts. But here's the kicker. This card says, you know what? I'm real sick and tired of this stinking situation. I'm sick and tired of this person tying me up in knots. I'm sick and tired of myself being tied up in knots about myself and about this situation. You are bored, you are upset, you are dissatisfied, and you don't know what to do. But this card is also telling you to wait. Sometimes being in this position is the best position to be in. You may not think it, but it is. Now, I took the Vida Sibila cards on this because I was like, I don't know what is going on, but it's something that I was feeling. And the first card that I wanted to see about was indeed this Four of Cups here. What's going on with that Four of Cups? And the cards I came up with were Amore, love, the Messenger. Can you see that? I don't know why I can never hold these cards straight. And again, the Consolante Sorpresa, the great surprise. Now, I'm reading this of two ways. I'm reading this as there is a person in your life who is not accepting what you have to offer. Yes, it's not accepting it. But that love is behind the reason why they're not accepting it. And right now, perhaps with all the planets in retrograde, this person is starting to receive messages that maybe they're being a butthead and they should change. If this is the case, believe me, it's going to be a very slow process. So be prepared to stick to your guns. A truth will come. Make no fast, sudden moves because you are being blocked by the universe. You're not going to be able to make any moves, and that indeed, if you make a move, it might be indeed the wrong move. Wait. I think this person is not looking at this as, oh, is coming to a realization about something. Now, if this has to do with a situation in your life, the situation is something that you deeply hold. You hold very close to your heart. It could be about a job or a project. That the messages you are receiving about it and the thoughts you are having are indeed letting you know you are on the correct path. That you are indeed starting to get the confidence to go forth with your dream, like I did with posting my videos here on YouTube. But again, we're being asked to wait. The next card that I went to look at, was this card. Why is the universe blocking me? Why can't I move forward? Because I'm so sick and stinking tired of being in the same place, doing the same thing, seeing the same people, eating the same food. And I got, interesting, the letter. Can you see that? The home or the house, the casa, and the merchant. Now, when I pulled those cards, I thought back to the June 28th reading. The last oracle card that I pulled from the Holland deck was the detached card, or the justice card. This situation is asking us to have balance, to be balanced. Perhaps there is a decision that needs to be made in deciding which way to go. That decision is either going to depend on someone else. It may depend on you, but then again, it's really up to the universe. That's the message. The universe is going to make that decision for us. We may not like the outcome, but in the end, the universe knows better than what we know. If I take these cards and look back at the July 28th reading with the Justice card as the override, perhaps there has been a legal issue that has come about that is coming to a full culmination. Perhaps you have received a message. Perhaps it has to do with property. Perhaps this is a business deal that needs to be completed. It is indeed looked at as a business deal or what have you. It is not, you were hoping perhaps that it was going to come to some type of quick ending, but it is not. There's been perhaps some type of delay with this card. Yes. If you're looking at it from a relationship standpoint, you have indeed been receiving signs. This house, this home, is not a dwelling, but it is the home of the true heart. That indeed your feelings are very much real. And again, like our King of Pentacles in the last reading, we are now standing on a precipice and we are looking out over the landscape in terms of what the recognition or the acceptance of these emotions mean to us, will mean to us going forward. The next card that I looked at was the Tower. Now, I pulled the Hope card. Now, remember, she came out last week, I believe it was on the Seven of Pentacles. I mean, not last week, just a few days ago. The Conversation. This card also came forth. And then we have the Amalato. This is the sick person. And remember, on the Seven of Pentacles, there was melancholy came up. I was saying that there was a gift. There was something that was being protected, but it causes sadness. And it's something that never goes away. That's how I'm reading this. I'm reading this as an event that occurred, whether it was a loss of a loved one, even a pet, a beloved pet, or a friend, whether it was the breakup of a relationship, a divorce, a loss of a job, perhaps even the loss of your home, which is why the house was coming up in the reading. That this has indeed, it has shaken you, but you still have hope. Your hope has not been that much affected. That you are very much in need of having a conversation with yourself, that indeed this conversation has begun, whether that conversation be with your friends, your family, your loved ones, your colleagues, whatever. But I think mostly it is a conversation that you need to have within yourself about what is really going on in your life. And that this is causing you some pain and some heartache. It is also tied to all those retrograde planets. Retrograde means to review. Put the first two letters of retrograde are R-E, re. So anything that you can review, reevaluate, reassess, redo, you are being called upon by the Tower and these three cards from the Vita Sibila to indeed have that conversation, look over these things, and be honest with yourself. Now, that might be difficult to do. And you may even be sticking to your guns in a way that is not beneficial to you. But believe that the universe, something will occur to let you know which way to go. I wanted to look at the Eight of Swords. What I got was Viaggio. I think, what was this? Is this the Traveler? The that's not the right. Let me find my little booklet. He is that card, a number 3. Hold on. He is known as the Vacation or Move. You are being asked to, you're wanting to move, but you can't. You're wanting to move, but you can't. And you are thinking very, very hard on what can I do to move this situation forward. I just really want to like stick something hot and sharp in my eye because I'm so sick of being in this situation. And it is indeed causing you great irritation, great frustration, sadness, sorrow, anger. Think about that. Because if you continue on that path, you will forever feel cut off and isolated out in the cold. We don't want to be that way. We can change this. And if we change it, and you're asking, well, how can you say, you know, you need to change something, but the universe is saying it ain't time for you to change, or if I do change it, it's going to be wrong. I think it's going to require us going into ourselves, and I'll explain that a little bit more. The cards that came out on that was Fortuna. This is luck, good fortune. It's kind of sort of like the World card. Yes? How can being shut out in the cold, how can be feeling isolated, lonely, alone, sad, dejected, kicked to the curb, be fortunate? How can that be lucky? How? What are you saying to me, crazy person? Again, there is the Donna Maritata, the nurturing person. That's the key. And then the Morte card. Now, this is the third time in a few days that death has come about. In the Vida Sibila, it means a complete detachment from a situation. This is fortunate right now, even though you may not see it that way. Even though you are being blocked by the universe, it is a not yet moment. Even though you may have had this bad thing happen to you. Even though I'm telling you, stick to your stinking guns. Even though I'm telling you that, yes, there is a change coming. You're going to have to be patient, even though you don't see it yet. Even though I'm saying to you, it deals with the truth, even though you don't know what the truth is right now. And even though you are bored out of your mind, you don't know what to do, you're dissatisfied. The ego is saying, I want to break free. I want to get away from this. I want to run away. I want to run away. I'm telling you that this is your best option right now. It is fortunate because this is going to give you the opportunity to nurture yourself, be kind to yourself, love yourself, be less judgmental of yourself. Understand that even though you want to move forward right now, moving forward may not be the best thing for you. Remember that we are humans, and sometimes we can get in our own way. We're being asked to reassess and review how we feel and think about things, and indeed how we behave and react towards things. And that this phase will indeed come to an end. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. And the overall reading for the Rider deck was the Lovers. Now this card, yes, could say, oh, it's all about romance and love. Indeed it is. But it is also about cooperation. It is about union. It is about choice. So I'm reading this card to say, love yourself first. Go into yourself. Learn to love yourself. Learn to cooperate with those parts of yourself that seem unruly, those parts that you can't seem to control, those parts that you don't show to the world. Yes. Try to find a balance within while you're being asked to wait this out. Indeed, the Vida Civilis, it's the stanza. This has to do with intimacy and emotions. Learn to be intimate with yourself. Learn to get in touch with your emotions. Yes, it is worrisome. It is bothersome. Yes, I tell you, Thursday, I spent all day Thursday crying. I did. I spent all day crying. I looked like, my eyes looked like, I don't know, 2 balloons. I don't know by the time I got through. But that to remain constant in your faith and your hope. Remain constant. Something better is coming. It may not be better when you see it at the time. You may not even recognize it as being better, but something better is coming. So now, this is running into an awfully long video, so I'm going to go ahead right quick, and pull an oracle card. Look at that! Hallelujah! A well-deserved reward. These cards are fabulous! If we do what the universe, even though if we take this not yet moment, these planets that are blocking us, that we're feeling limited, we're being restricted, if we take this moment and we use it to learn to love ourselves better, to reassess and review all the things we truly want, what's most important in your life that you need in order to find your life path, your soul purpose, you will indeed be blessed with a well-deserved reward. God, I can't do any better than that if I had wanted to. Thank you so much, YouTubers. Thank you, travelers, so much for coming to visit with me. And I hope this helped you so much. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. All right. Be good. Bye-bye.